What it do, cucksters? Hater on the road once again, alright? This video is going to be about something that I've been alluding to for the last several videos. Primarily, I'm going to talk about this wrestling philosophy, which is based on an erroneous life philosophy. I call this one the working hard fallacy. Now, working hard is important. It's important for your soul, and it's important for your presentation if you care about these things, right? However, in the haters' country, we have a saying, and the saying goes a little bit something like this. If work was fun, the king would do it himself, right? It's as simple as that. People work because they have to, not because they want to, right? Generally speaking, right? There are people that continue to work until they die, and they do it out of a passion and out of a joy. No doubt about it. But generally speaking, people work not for the reasons that they say they do. People work because they have to, right? There are exceptions, and I believe that in this day and age, we have a lot more exceptions. Like, for example, in some capacity, like as the hater continues to make more and more loot with the hater channel, right? Like, there comes a point where, like, I would be disingenuous if I said that, like, I don't like the fact that I make money doing this, right? But I don't do it for the money. Like, I would do it even if my channel was demonetized, as it was several days ago, but we're back, bitches, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I would still do it, right? But, you know, there will come a point, like, if I make like 10 grand a month, you know, like, I don't know if I'll do it for free if I go from 10 grand to zero. Probably I will, because I enjoy it so much, right? But it is work. Sometimes it does feel like there's days when I'm like, man, I didn't do a video today, and I'm fucking tired, but I gotta put out, man. I gotta go in there. I gotta do what I said I'm gonna do. Hater's a man of his word, motherfuckers. But anyways, the point is, this work hard philosophy gets Americans to a lot of places, right? Working hard will, at least in my opinion, make you average, because more than 50% of the people don't work hard. Probably a lot more than 50% of people don't work hard, right? So if you work hard, you will achieve certain things, right? But the American dream is predicated upon this idea, right? The subtext is that he who works hardest gets the most rewards, which is obviously not true. You think that Bill Gates works harder than a fucking roofer in the middle of June? Like I saw a motherfucker today roofing. You think Bill Gates can do that shit? Absolutely not. It takes a different kind of species to do that, right? Bill Gates can do other things and make him a lot of money, like successfully run a business based on computer software. You know what I mean? And that's what he did. Now, working hard is a requirement to be massively successful, but it is not a sufficient condition. Meaning that it is not sufficient that if you just work hard, you're gonna have success, right? It's one of the things that you must do, but there's other things that you must do, and that must happen. Number one, you gotta be a little smart, right? Number two, you gotta have other attributes depending on your field, which brings us to the connection to wrestling, right? In wrestling, working hard is never enough, right? Sometimes, in law school, I'll give you this. In law school, motherfuckers, me and my classmates went to take an exam, and some guy had written on the board, someone in this class studied less than you, and they're gonna get a better grade. And you studied more than someone, and they're gonna get a better grade, right? That's just how it works, right? Generally speaking, you can study for an exam and it's gonna help you, but there are people that won't study and will either luck out or they're just brilliant, right? These things happen. And the same thing happens in wrestling. But wrestling people, like the fans, the wrestlers too, but mostly the fans, are man-children, right? So they really believe that, oh, this guy works hard, therefore he should main event WrestleMania. No, motherfuckers. Like, Tozawa works hard. Do you think Tozawa should main event WrestleMania? And that's the problem. A lot of people, like Bailey, Karrion Kross, they go out on the social medias or on like interviews or whatever, or maybe even in kayfabe, and they say things like, I'm being held down, I work twice as hard as everybody else. Yeah, sometimes that happens, motherfuckers. Sometimes, and I know it's unfair. The hater knows. There are people that work twice as hard as the hater that have 20 subscribers. And there are people that work, you know, like 1/10 as hard as I do and have millions. Probably not many, because, you know, I don't even like it. You just get a thumbnail with your boy. For now, we're gonna change that up, right? But the point I'm trying to make is hard work is not correlational always to success, right? Hard work will get you success if you have other attributes, but luck, you know, charisma, a general likability, I'm trying to think of attributes, right? And unfortunately, a propensity to kiss ass and suck balls is gonna get you ahead too. You know what I mean? The hater, one of the things that the hater is proud of the most is one of my new catchphrases, maybe, you know what I mean? Not one dick sucked, motherfuckers. The hater has never kissed anyone's ass. And I know that I've had opportunities where people have said, kind of like the rocks at the cookie, right? People have said, it's like, hey man, you could do this, you could get this great job if you do as I say, right? But I've politely declined all of them because the hater cares about the climb. I care about how I do it, motherfuckers. Haven't you noticed? You think the hater couldn't just switch gears and get thousands of more subscribers by saying Cody Rhodes is great? No, motherfuckers. I know I can, but I'm not gonna do it. The hater ain't no sellout. You know what I mean? Like, and that's part of my ethos. That's part of my character, right? And I understand that in order to adhere to that character, I'm not going to have the success that maybe I could have if I sell out. I get that, right? The hater is a real life Cody Rhodes. But the reason I bring this up is because in wrestling and in other things, there is this presumption that primarily because wrestling is not real, right? There's no actual competitive skill in wrestling, that it should be based on working hard, right? And there is an argument to be made there, right? Like if Finn Balor, for example, is never late, he's reliable, he never gets injured, right? He does his best. He's decent in the ring, he's decent in the mic, he's decent to look at, he's decent at everything, right? If he has all these things, then his argument is, wait a second, then why does the guy that keeps getting popped for steroids getting pushed over me, right? I'm more reliable, right? You can rely on me. I won't like call out sick, right? Now, there's something to be said about that, except obviously everything I just said about Finn Balor, most of that is bullshit. You know, this guy does get injured. He's not entertaining. There's other factors, right? So there's two problems. Number one, people who feel entitled because they work hard, right? Just because you work hard, you should feel entitled to something, right? That's one of the things that the hater hates the most. The people that work hard, right? Imagine you're in school, you work hard, you study every day, motherfucker, for your geometry math exam, right? Your geometry exam, and you end up getting a B plus, right? Now a B plus ain't nothing to scoff at. That's a respectable grade, right? But you really want that A. So then you debase yourself. You go to the teacher and you start bitching and moaning and begging like a fucking beggar. You go there and you say, teacher, like, I got a B plus, but I tried so hard. Like, can't you just bump it up to an A minus? I have an 89%. Can't you just bump it up by 1%? And the teacher might bend. Sometimes they do, right? But what has happened here after that moment is you are now a prostitute, right? You have now prostituted your integrity. You ain't no man. You didn't take the B plus that you earned. You take what you earn, right? And then you make it that way. And if you don't make it, you at least have the honor of saying, hey man, I didn't make it, but I tried. I tried the right way. I stepped on nobody's neck, right? I didn't take a grade away from nobody, right? Because imagine for example, that there's another student in your class who got a B plus, and he also could have begged the teacher for an A, right? But he didn't. Now your GPA is slightly higher than his. Is that fair? No, it's not fair, motherfuckers. It's the definition of unfair. And in wrestling, this shit happens all the time. But in wrestling, there's also another problem. There is an overinflated sense of self-importance, right? Like wrestlers who clearly suck ass kind of gaslight themselves into thinking that they're great. Like straight up, motherfuckers. They're like, yo, I'm actually better than you think I am. Like Sami Zayn, there's a story, right? Where like Yoshitatsu had a match. I don't know if this is true. One of my friends told me. And he was in wrestling for a while, so he knew some of the people that were in that NXT locker room afterwards. He met them, right? And basically Yoshitatsu has a match, and that day they find out that like, remember Cassius Ohno, also known as Chris Hero? Like he got released, right? And Sami Zayn like throws a hissy fit backstage, and he's like, you're gonna release Cassius Ohno, who's a personal friend of his, and you're gonna keep this guy, Yoshitatsu? And it's like, Yoshitatsu should have just beat the shit out of him right there, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be completely justified. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, fuck Cassius Ohno, and fuck you. And you know what? Fuck Yoshitatsu too. I'm not saying he's special, but who the fuck do you think you are, right? You think you're special? Like, Sami Zayn and his ROH jobber-ass friends really believe their own shit. They really believe they're good at what they do. That's because nobody fucking tells them you're fucking shit at what you do, right? The internet tells them, wow, Sami Zayn, he's so underrated. Let's go, Sami. This is Uzi. Like, what you should be saying is, get the fuck off Boom, 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 boom. My television. Boom, 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 boom. Get the fuck out. Nobody wants to see this shit. I don't want to see Yoshitatsu either, but at the very least, I'm not going to sit here and debase somebody because they're trying to make a living like I am, right? I'm not going to step on that neck like Sami Zayn wants to. These people think they're better than they actually are. So then they get surprised. It's like, you can see it. You can all envision it, right? 10 years down the line, Sami Zayn leaves WWE. He maybe goes and has like a bullshit retirement match that nobody cares about. Then he goes and has an interview with Chris Van Vliet. And Van Vliet says to him, you were so close, Sami. So close so many times to being the WWE champion. How do you feel about that? And Sami Zayn will say something like, I felt like I deserved it. Blah, 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 blee, blee, blee. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. No, you don't deserve it. And you know you don't deserve it. You know when you look at yourself in the mirror, you didn't even try hard. You know, earlier in this video, I started talking about people working hard up in this motherfucker, right? But now we're done with that because we're talking about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They don't try hard. They don't even diet, right? They look like shit. You know, they're supposed to be these massive stars, right? Massive stars. And they don't even try hard. And then they're like, oh, I felt like my moment was then. Like CM Punk too, you know? He's like, I should have made an event at WrestleMania. I felt like my moment was taken. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Sometimes shit gets taken from you because other people deserve it more or someone screws you. What are you going to do about it? Piss and moan for 15 years? Apparently, pissing and moaning does get you things. Don't get it twisted, motherfuckers. This is what's happening in the world nowadays, right? People realize that bitching and moaning gets you things, you know? And the people of integrity, keep at it, motherfuckers. Keep at it. You at least have the balls to do it the right way. The hater knows many people that have sucked their way to the top metaphorically, you know? Dudes that have prostituted themselves to get to the top. I know these people. I don't really associate with them much, but I know them, motherfuckers. You know? Most of them. I mean, some of them I do associate with, obviously, but the vast majority are people that I've not cut out of my life, but people that we just don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, right? This is one of them, right? These people, they might be, some of them have leveraged that to start very successful companies, you know? However, I don't care, right? And nobody should. You should look at those people as what they are, right? And if you work hard and you get lucky and you keep your integrity, you may not make it, right? Whether it's to be the WrestleMania main eventer or whether it's to be whatever the fuck you want to be, a podiatrist, a basketball player, you might not make it. That's a reality, motherfuckers. And here, let me tell you another one. If you don't suck the dicks and kiss the ass, the chances of you making it are much lower. But imagine if you do. Imagine if you do make it, motherfucker. Imagine if you do make it. Then what? Then what can they say to you, right? If you do it the correct way. And that's the philosophy that we need to instill in wrestling, right? Do it the correct way. Work hard in becoming a wrestler that is marketable, right? Do something. Take improv classes to learn how to cut a better promo. Take acting classes. Hit the gym. Take your diet seriously, right? Show up on time. Do the things you're supposed to do. When you have like a dark match, put your effort into it. Don't phone it in. Do more than 3 moves, right? These are things that are going to make you stand out. And there is a point where you can become undeniable, right? And that's what I want. I want people to become undeniable, and then I will cheer for these people as well. I will cheer for the people at LA Knight who have worked hard. You can see that this motherfucker tries. He has like different moves all the time. Like I can name like 10 LA Knight moves. I cannot name 10 Karrion Kross moves. You know, BFT, the other version of the BFT, which is like a knee and a neck breaker. The Megastar elbow from the middle rope. The regular Megastar elbow. The little thing where he throws him up, it's basically a power slam. The little reverse power slam thing that he does, right? So many moves that LA Knight has. I'm not gonna like catalog all of them for the sake of time, but you see what I'm getting at here, right? There's like even Randy Orton, right? He periodically added new moves to his repertoire, right? Like, you know, one of my favorite moves of all time is that Randy Orton like elevated neck breaker, you know, where he lifts the guy up in like the dominator position, and then he just pushes them back and then drops him into a neck breaker. Like that should be a finisher. You know what I mean? It's an amazing move, right? So with that being said, it's like we need people to take their job seriously. And that's fine if you don't want to, if you want to coast and you happen to be lucky, like like I said, luck's very important, right? If you're a Sami Zayn, if you're a Karrion Kross, it seems like, if you're a Kevin Owens, if you're a Finn Balor, like Triple H's guys, you're kind of safe in your job. So you go ahead, phone it in, doesn't matter, right? But then expect the outcome of someone that phones it in. LA Knight in his mid-40s shouldn't look better than Sami Zayn, right? LA Knight, who's relatively new to the WWE compared to Sami Zayn, shouldn't be better at promos. He shouldn't be, but he is, right? Because he continues to try to get better. And if he never wins the world title, that is something that's like, fuck, man. That guy should have had it at least once, you know? The same way, like I always say, Christian Cage is my favorite wrestler. I have no illusions that Christian Cage would become this multiple-time WWE champion. I think he deserved it, but like, I get it, you know what I mean? He's not everyone's cup of tea. But I think everyone can agree that he deserved one, he got two, he deserved one world title win, right? He deserved to be champion one time. And I think that's enough. Mark Henry, same thing. I know Mark Henry's not going to be a multiple-time world champion. I know he's not going to have a Randy Orton career. But he deserves at least one, right? But like, if you look at other people that are so-called missed opportunities, they're like Mr. Kennedy. You really think Mr. Kennedy deserves to be WWE champion? You really think he put in the work and did what was required to merit like that honor? Right? You think he's contributed more to WWE than Mark Henry? You think he's contributed more than Matt Hardy? Right? Fuck out of here. No, he hasn't. And he had many opportunities. You know what I mean? So there you have it, Cuts. That's what the haters got to say about that. The hater considers all of this shit to be the truth, you know? And fundamentally, it's like hard work. It's going to get you in the door. Hard work, like incredible hard work, can even get you to your goals if your goals are reasonable. Like, the example I always give is Earl Boykins, one of my favorite NBA players of all time. Earl Boykins was like 5'4" or some shit like that. He was sub 5'7", I can tell you that, right? This guy has no business even grabbing a basketball, right? But this motherfucker worked hard and had a career, a respectable NBA career, right? Like, think about that. You could be Earl Boykins, but Earl Boykins cannot get up and demand that people make him Michael Jordan. He's Earl Boykins, motherfuckers. Michael Jordan is a different level. See what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone can be LeBron. Not everyone can be Jokic. Not everyone can be Larry Bird. Not everyone can be Magic Johnson. I think you understand the point. Not everyone can be, right? Some people just are not, right? They're not gonna be. And it is what it is. That's just how it is. And with that being said, I think it's important for us to kind of recognize that there are limits to the things that we care about, right? There are limits to our dreams, but you shouldn't accept the limits. You should keep working hard and hope and pray that one day you make it. But if you don't, like, imagine this. You don't make it and you tried the honorable way, right? You can at least be applauded for that. And let's say you don't make it, but you broke people's hearts. You did fucked up shit on your way to not making it. Then what are you? You are a piece of shit. So there you have it, Cugs. Don't be a piece of shit. Be a champion. Be a winner, motherfucks. That being said, that's why a lot of wrestlers don't get the respect they deserve. Because fuck them. That's why, Cugs.